Principle of orientation. It's all about developing awareness of your center line and how the center line, which is like a power line in your body, empowers your hands, tools, even your lower extremities. For example, if you have a tool in your hand, let's say a hammer, and you want to hammer a nail, where would you have more power? Over here, or here, or here? If you keep facing in the exact same direction, but your hand is at different angles in relation to the center line, the results are not going to be the same. And I'm not going to tell you that it always works for everyone absolutely perfectly here. But I've tested enough to know that this is how it works for me. And I invite you to test it for yourself. Or you can use a screwdriver and check what's easier for you, to drive a tight screw on your center line, like so, or slightly off of center line, either this way or perhaps that way. This is something that will transform your understanding of the way the body works in terms of energy alignments. If you consider that the center line is like a projection of your dantian directly forward, everything that happens on center line receives maximum attention, and as we know, where attention goes, energy flows. So you will empower everything that you do with your hand on your center line, because you provide maximum attention and therefore maximum energy to your hand. Now, if you move your hand just slightly off, whether you're using a hammer or a screwdriver, or you're just pushing, this is exactly what you can do with your practice partner. You can just test how easy it is to push each other, of course, taking turns. So one person needs to brace himself or herself, and the other person will push either on the center line or off center line. Try on both sides of the center line to see how it works. You can also try further away from center line, either this way or that way, so you really develop an authentic awareness of how it works. And once you reinvent the wheel, as it were, you'll never forget how it works, because you are the inventor. You will know precisely where your hand needs to be in relation to your center line. But guess what? Everything is relative. So alignment of the hand with the center line can be accomplished by bringing the hand to the center line. The nail is not always going to be located on the center line. Or if you drive a screw into a wall, for instance, it's not always going to be on the center line. What to do? That's why we call this the principle of orientation. You orient yourself towards the nail or anything else. For example, if you want to have more attention given to your hand, let's say if you're painting, guess what is going to help most? Orienting yourself towards your hand, towards that particular part of the painting where you are painting at the moment. This also means that you will be moving your body in relation to your painting, is developing harmonious cultural movement. Your painting gestures are not going to be isolated motions of the hand while your torso is static. Instead, your whole body is going to be involved in the painting, whatever you're painting, even though these are perhaps microscopic movements. These don't have to be very large movements. Your whole body being involved in your action will empower your hand and integrate your whole being into your movement. It doesn't always have to be a painting. Obviously, it can be anything. For example, I work with a lot of healers. And for example, if you have a person on a massage table in front of you, well, you're not going to drag the massage table to position it on your center line so that you would have power in your hand. No, you will actually move yourself to orient yourself towards that particular part of the client's body that needs attention the most at this particular moment. And then You will reorient yourself towards other parts of the body of the person you're working with as the need arises. So what happens then is you begin to dance around the massage table, constantly maintaining awareness of your orientation of the center line with the part of the body that needs the healing. Now, if you, in customer service, do you think that you will provide better customer service if you focus your center line on the customer, or if you turn your center line and focus it out of the window? You're welcome to experiment to find out what it feels like on the receiving end. Because obviously, if we're talking about attention, you won't be able to pay as much attention to the person if you turn your center line away from them. And obviously, the quality of your customer service will be different. I'm not going to say it's going to be worse or better. There's going to be some difference. And I invite you to find out which way you resonate with. I don't know, maybe talking to a customer like this is going to work better for you for some reason. Maybe you're a taxi cab driver. You can't turn your center line to face your customer. So instead of squaring off, you will have to come up with some alternative way. Now, how about another person's projection of energy? For example, if you're in a business meeting, or let's say you're talking to a boss, and the boss is trying to boss you around, you don't want to be constantly bombarded with that person's energy. So what do? You simply move slightly away from the center line. What will that do? You will no longer going to receive the focused energy projection directed at you. You'll be slightly off. And of course, the further away you move from your boss's center line, the less control the boss will have over you. It also means that they may not receive your information as clearly because they can't focus their attention on you as well. But that doesn't mean that you cannot focus on them. As a matter of fact, you may find a certain degree of parity in your energies if the energy of the boss is really coming strong, or perhaps you're in a customer service situation where the customer is not happy and perhaps throwing energy daggers at you. You don't need to stand on the center line necessarily. If you just shift a little bit, but continue focusing on them, that will provide you the ability to concentrate your attention and your energy on them without being subjected to their energy projection. Now, how smart is that? You literally remove yourself from the position of a target. You no longer stand there or sit there with a target on your forehead. Please shoot me here. Instead, you continue orienting yourself towards them, but you are no longer in harm's way, energetically speaking.